Welcome to Something to Wrestle With. Bruce Prichard. Well, you know.
Let's go to the May 26th Raw. Goldberg's back on the highlight reel, and Goldberg is having to sit and listen to Jericho sort of rattle off his accomplishments, that he didn't have the opportunity to face Goldberg in WCW because he wasn't considered a big enough star. So he comes to the WWE and becomes the biggest star ever, the first ever undisputed champion. And he said he'd been waiting 5 years to go face to face with Goldberg, and he would tattoo his name on Goldberg's ass so he'd never underestimate him again. So he challenges him to a match, and Goldberg charges out to the ring, but Jericho bails, of course. They set up a match for Bad Blood here. Both guys accept, and it looks like this is our next pay-per-view. Seems like a natural progression to sort of move to the Jericho match. At this point, the dirt sheets already knew about the backstage skirmish. Does that play something into the booking here? I mean, since people know about it, might as well go with it, right?
Well, you go with it, but it was also, Vince knew that Jericho would make Goldberg look good. He knew that Christian could make Goldberg look good. And that was more of the idea behind it. And then if people wanted to throw in the reality of the backstage shit, that helps too.
How was Goldberg at this point? You know, he's been in a wig. He's had the Barracuda stall out on him. He's had a not so great match with The Rock. He's had a mini feud with Christian. Now he's working with Jericho. Is he pleased with his creative at the time? How was he to deal with?
I think that Bill at this point in this stage was paranoid. He had a lot of people in his ear. He was in new surroundings, and he was unsure of himself. And I think that people played up that paranoia, and that they were getting in his head, and he didn't trust anybody, and he was unhappy, and he let everybody around him know that he was unhappy. So it was, Bill pretty much kind of kept to himself, which didn't help with the, hey, hang out with the boys and at least be one of the boys and be out and about. He didn't do that. So that didn't help him out a whole lot either.
The next week on Raw, June 3rd, Goldberg's in the back for an interview, but we see Jericho throwing paint on his car. So Goldberg runs out and gets in the car, which is already running, and gives chase. Bruce, what the fuck? Why so many cars? We've got the
this is part 2 of your story from earlier on. San Diego, California. The idea behind it is Bill's got another car. Okay. He had the Barracuda. Now he's got, this, whatever the hell car it was, some kind of old car. And the idea was that if Jericho ruins a car and throws paint all over his prized possession again, and that would help get heat without having to beat Goldberg down and without Goldberg having to beat Jericho down. But for car guys, you fuck with my car. And people knew that, Bill had done stuff on the Car Network or Speed Network about his car. So everybody knew that he had these prized possessions. So there were a couple of producers involved in this, and I was in charge of the shot with Jericho and the paint and the car and Bill getting in the car and taking off. So we rehearsed this. I don't know how many times. And when I say we rehearsed it about at least 8 times, we probably did it 10 or 12. And when we rehearsed it, we went through everything, obviously, except for the paint being thrown. We went through the placement of where the security guard was and where Bill would run up, and that Bill would ask the security guard, which way did he go? The security guard would point which way he went, and Goldberg would get in the car and take off in the direction that the security guard pointed. Again, rehearsed over and over and over and over again. We're live. So we're doing this, and it's still daylight out in California, and Jericho is there. Goldberg's down doing the interview live in one part. So there's one producer down there. I'm up top in the parking area with Jericho. And we do it. Jericho throws the paint. The paint looks great, man. It's perfect. Goldberg comes running up the ramp. He's blown sky high. The security guard is in the exact place that he's supposed to be in. Goldberg shoves the security guard out of the way, jumps in the car, and goes the wrong way. Now, he's rehearsed this all day long, getting in the car and going the correct way. He's rehearsed it all day long, running up and asking the security guard, which way did he go? And the security guard telling him, and then going the correct way. For whatever reason, Bill ran up, shoved the security guard out of his way, didn't ask him which way he went, and then got in his car and drove the wrong way. So the dreaded words across the headsets that nobody in the WWF ever wants to hear. Your name, Bruce. Come to Gorilla. And bring everyone involved in that shoot. So I'm walking down the ramp. The producer down at the bottom of the ramp that was doing Goldberg's interview is walking up the ramp. Like, what happened? And I'm like, geez, I said, man, I don't know. Let's go up and find out. So we get up to the gorilla position, and Vince is sitting at the table, and Vince takes his glasses off first, then takes his headset off and says, "What in the fuck was that?" To which there were four of us. It was myself, the stage manager, the cameraman, and the other producer. And almost unanimously, we all said, "I don't know." And he's like, "I've got four people standing in front of me responsible for one shot. And the only answer I get is, I don't know. God damn it, Bruce." I said, "Vince, what? I mean, God damn it, he went the wrong way." I said, "Vince, you were there. We rehearsed it 10 times. There was, he didn't do what he was supposed to do." And Vince looks at me and goes, "You just smeared shit all over the business. You just single-handedly killed Bill Goldberg's career." And I was just looking at him because I have no response to that. I kind of thought for a minute, wow, okay, that's a hell of an accomplishment that in one night I just killed Bill Goldberg's career. And he goes, "There was no security guard there. You didn't have him in position. That fucking bullshit. You didn't have him ready. He wasn't where he was supposed to be." So right about this time, now we're live. So now we're out of commercial break. And on the other side of the commercial, they're showing a replay of Jericho throwing the paint and Goldberg running up. So Vince sees this, and we're going, well, let's see what the fuck happened. And he knows that there was no security guard there. He knows that I fucked up. He's like, go ahead, show me the security guard. Show me where he is. Where is he? And my cameraman, Bubba Dean, points on the screen. And he goes, "Oh, he's right there, boss." And the security guard is standing in exactly the right position, right next to the door. And then here comes Goldberg, and Goldberg pushes him out of the way, and he drives Ego. And I'm standing there, and I'm shrugging my shoulders. I got my hands up, and he just looks at me and goes, fuck you, Bruce. Just get the fuck out of here." So that night, I killed Bill Goldberg's career. I'm responsible. Me. Smeared shit all over the business. Yep.
Well, that's our most requested story. You teased it, I don't know, maybe a year ago, it feels like, about smeared shit all over the business. And you finally got to tell it. Do you feel better getting out of your system? It feels like it's got to be like cathartic to go through some of this.
Sometimes. Still, my favorite part of the entire ordeal was Bubba Dean innocently pointing out the security guard in the shot.
When he says,
"Where is he? Show me."
When he says that,
boss.
Do you feel like your stomach like go into your throat? Like, oh, that was the wrong thing to say.
No, I felt vindicated. I was like, because in my head, okay, here's where I'm at in my head. I'm thinking, God damn it, Bubba. Did you not frame the fucking security guy in there?
Right.
And then I'm thinking in my head, fuck, did I have the security guard in the right place? I'm putting all the blame on me. I'm blaming myself. I'm blaming Bubba. I'm like, everybody but the talent. And then when we watch the replay and we're vindicated, and I'm like, yeah, all right. But since then, Vince and I have been able to laugh at that little moment, but that was something that we all shared, and it was everybody's looking at me because there were 4 guys there. We all did give him the, I don't know, but everything was directed at me. That was my role, man. That was my shit.